Good afternoon on this Thursday, December 10th. It is currently 1:25 p.m. Eastern Time. This video will cover the last day for Green Bay in Weather Challenge, Day 8. Very happy to see that we're almost done with the city. And there will be a month break from Weather Challenge. So hopefully by the time we have our next city, which I think is New Orleans, the weather pattern overall will be a lot different, more exciting. Although New Orleans, right next to the Gulf of Mexico, so there's a large influence there. Okay, so let's take a look at Green Bay. Overnight last night, it was tricky. I set my low to 35 degrees last minute. That was largely due to the temperature trends. Let me change this to UTC. Okay, so 3Z, they were 37 degrees. There's some mid-level clouds, although winds were fairly light. I was hoping that skies wouldn't be as cloudy, but that really wasn't the case. So that prevented radiational cooling to continue. So temperatures actually rose the night with the warm advection regime, although the winds were fairly light overnight. But they still warmed up quite pretty well. And yes, they have warmed significantly all the way up to 53 degrees as of 18Z, largely due a combination of warmer advection and sunshine. Definitely playing a huge role there. And very windy too as well. They just had a gust to 31 miles per hour. So my forecast high today was 54 degrees, so it looks like that'll verify quite nicely. The winds were 26 knots, or about 29 miles per hour, so we have a bit of ways to go there, although the front has not passed yet, so there's some time for that to happen. Low temperature, I missed by a good 6 degrees. We're not going to discuss that any further. Let's take a look at satellite. So while the METAR has been reporting sunny skies, clear skies, you got to remember, I think the METAR only reports cloud ceilings up to 12,000 feet. I'm not really sure, but there have been clouds in the area all through the morning hours. But just last hour, they broke into some good sunshine, which helped temperatures to really rise into the lower 50s. Let's see. So where's the front in this? It's kind of hard to make it out. You can take a look at the surface analysis. So there's a bit of a front, yeah, like right here, ahead of this line of organized clouds. So the rest of today, I think temperatures will rise a couple more degrees, although with a lot of clouds they're moving in, and I don't think temperatures will rise too much more. Take a look at the surface. Okay, so there's warmer air to the south, and that's where the wind's coming from. So temperatures might actually, middle 50s, 56 degrees. So a couple more degrees, and then there's cooler air off to the west. So once winds shift over to the west, temperatures should begin to fall. Honestly, I think the models had the frontal passage like right around now, so a little late on that, or a little too soon. Well, that's unfortunate. The models were just too cold yesterday. Anomalous patterns usually lead to a decrease in model performance. So even the low temperature the models had a hard time with, so a difficult forecast it was. So let's take a look to see how the clouds behave in the future. Little satellite action going on. Radar as well. North Central, 15Z RPM. Let's take a look. Hopefully we can have a break of clouds for the last day. Okay, so sheesh. This really isn't showing. This doesn't really match up too well, is it? and it's not really capturing these clouds right here. So gotta take model guidance with a grain of salt most of the time. Definitely important to compare it with actual observations. Very easy to see how the satellite is always updates every hour. But anyway, yeah, it definitely highlights this feature right here, which is the post-frontal activity. Good batch of rain with it. Let's see. Models yesterday had that kind of falling apart. Looks like that does occur. I want to take a look. Okay. I just want to compare this with yesterday's runs. Alright, fast forward very quickly. Okay, so the 18Z run of the RPM from yesterday. Here we are, 16, 17. Here we are, 18Z. Already have the cloud shield from this front already on the doorstep. Fast forward it to, we can even compare it to the satellite right now, and it is all the way back here. So, model was way too fast in getting that into the area. So that's probably why the models were too cold today. And I think even my high temperature forecast might be too low. What a shame. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, this model doesn't have it getting to them by like 23Z. So yeah, that's big. That's a good 4-hour miss. And okay, it does have a few rain showers. I don't think anyone really put any rain, so neither did I. So I'm not too worried about that. And then it looks like they get on the backside of the low, northwest flow, convecting some cold air in. Although I don't think the temperatures up here are too cold. So here we are, day 8, starting out. There's some clouds, although cold advection, so the temperatures will fall despite cloud cover. Moving into Friday, there's definitely some clouds, and then you have this feature riding eastward. I'm not sure if it really might have a okay, so it does. So some sort of looks like some warm advection pattern again. This pattern very persistent with getting warm air into the regions. So tomorrow, based on this, looks like another cloudy day. A few sprinkles, although that doesn't look anything meaningful. More than a trace, probably not. So back to this southwest flow aloft, indicating warm air advection. Most likely continued Pacific flow. Can't imagine that's cold air. Yeah, so tomorrow looks good amount of clouds, and then you get this area, but that's okay. That tries to work its way towards the end of the day 8 period. Maybe a little precip. We'll have to take a closer look. Just considering low real quickly. I would expect probably the first 6C period. This looks like second 6C period. You have southerly flow, increasing moisture. Not as ideal as the first period with the cold air advection. So let's take a look here. Okay, so this shows a lot of the low moisture, and then you have your mid-high level moisture, then probably clouds, low clouds, and then you have your higher clouds. So as soon as your low clouds thin out, you have your mid-level clouds filling back in. A very similar pattern to what we've had all week long, pretty much. This is showing a pretty deep layer of moisture. Okay, not much lift, or tomorrow for that matter. Although towards the end of the period, that's pretty late compared to the GFS. Okay, so a little bit of better lift organized, but not, lacking the moisture though. So, yeah, really it's lacking moisture. Especially before 6C. So I don't think I'm too worried about precip for tomorrow. Just a good amount of clouds. GFS, it's tough. This is low level moisture, but not as saturated as the NAM looks. Winds are going to be out of the west. Initially, they'll be tapping colder air. Then I think the air mass modifies. Very strong winds. 50-knot winds making its way below 850 millibars, so that's pretty windy. So it'll be windy overnight tonight. And then winds definitely die off tomorrow. And then you get into this east flow. Okay, we haven't had that east flow off the lake there. Lake temperatures are the mid to upper 40s. They're fairly warm still. As soon as we get an Arctic wave across the lakes, I think lake effect snow is really gonna hammer those areas. Something to monitor. So yeah, let's take a look at the temperature profile. So yeah, definitely a colder day tomorrow. So despite sunshine, the layer looks pretty cold. Here's your warm advection starting to creep in. So here's your peak heating. So they'll be able to warm a little bit. Yeah, questionable amount of sunshine. It is a December sun, and yeah, air mass aloft isn't the warmest. It's not as warm as it's been. It's definitely warm compared to normal. The GFS real quickly. A little warmer at the surface. It showed a little bit more sun. So yeah, like once again, the big factor in temperature is clouds, which we have seen all week. I'm just sick of this pattern. Ugh. And the models really just have a hard time, getting an idea of the clouds, because honestly, the GFS really doesn't show much in the way of clouds at all. Meanwhile, the NAM shows this layer of low clouds, then your mid-upper level clouds. And I remember the RPM. This is the correct one. Yeah, so get rid of this tab real quickly. Showed a lot of clouds through the day. You have the warm advection occurring later in the day. So these clouds are definitely your warm advection clouds. And that's easily seen. Yeah, this is definitely warm advection regime right here. But it looks like the warm advection occurs after peak heating. So that makes me question the warm advection clouds are going to get there in time. Because I'm not really seeing that low level stratus that we had earlier in the week. This looks like some best chance of sun is early on, and then as the day progresses, as the warm advection intensifies, I think clouds will become an issue after 18Z. Compare the USL, and thinks the clouds will move in. Yeah, the USL's been having a hard time with the cloud cover. Let's make fun of it real quickly and just take a look. Let's look at yesterday's real quickly. Yeah, look at this. It had 90% sky cover right through 18Z. Yeah, this is for today. This is not verifying at all. They have study skies right now. It had the same problem the day before, I remember. It way too long to lose the sky cover. It's so similar. But yeah. I'm hesitant to really go with the USL for sky cover now, just because of its performances of late. Although this is a different pattern, so it might perform a little better. So yes, it does show scattered cloud cover, and then increasing clouds. So it looks like you have some pretty good warming right through 18Z due to some sunshine. Although you have a westerly flow tapping into some cooler air, at least initially. I really want to take a look at the 2-meter temperatures on here, just to see where is cold air, where is the warm air. So this will give a good idea. So here we are late tonight. So again, the air is not that cold, despite being the backside of a low. This pattern stinks. So this pocket, it just, start focusing on some key aspects, such as the low temperature, real quickly. I'm showing a lot of the low moisture overnight. JFS not as much. USL 36%. That's not much, but the winds are going to be howling, so it's going to be hard to get any sort of meaningful radiation cooling. So I'm really not sure why it's cooling those areas off faster. That might be a mistake. Yeah, it's open and it's kind of this is funky. I'm not sure. I just want to see where these temperatures over in this region get to. Something's telling me I'm not looking at the right. Yeah, there we go. Here's the problem. That's why this is the wrong day. See? If it doesn't make sense, then you're probably not looking at the right thing. Okay, this looks much closer to what's actually happening right now. Sorry, I got confused there. Alright, there we go. Okay, this looks much better. Okay. Okay, so you have cold advection ongoing. This is 6Z. Tonight, here's some pretty cold area. Sub 32 degrees. Nothing too cold this time of year, but colder than what it has been. And if your flow is coming from that direction, then temperatures will fall. So here we are, 11Z. You're still tapping in cooler air. Looks like temperatures do fall into the 30s tonight. Then a slow modification process with the sun. Take a look at the winds. So the winds are pretty much westerly right through 18Z. So pretty much tapping anything in this region. So that'll definitely impact how much they can warm up tomorrow. Although since these areas warm me up with the sun, although what's the cloud situation over there? A lot of clouds over there. In these areas that are cooler, with the approach of the warm advection cloud, they're more likely to see clouds than Green Bay. They're just cooler, more of a running taking place. And then a gradual rise into the lower 40s. Then you're tapping some of the warmer air, so you do eventually have a combination of warmer advection and a little bit of sunshine. Although this time period, yeah, I do remember the clouds were in place, and then overnight things drop off a bit. Although I think the low occurs. And there's another front. Yeah, first 60 low in USL. Ugh, I don't think so with these clouds. East wind coming off the warmer lake. No way. No, this is. I'm not satisfied with that. Low occurs. Yeah, sometime tomorrow morning. With the colder advection, then the sun comes out. Still maintaining the slight cold advection. Although the cold advection, the impact of that is slowly waning as those areas that are once cold are warming up from the sun. How much sun do they get? Yeah, who knows? It'll be an all-day warming process. I don't think. CSL has them warming up pretty fast. The high temperature will probably occur towards the end of the day. The thing is, the winds really do slacken off a lot. So 21Z to 0Z really isn't much wind to speak of. So while there is warmer air to the south, lack of winds, I'm not going to really tap that. Alright, let's see what the name of GFS have for 2-minute temperatures. So this wants to have the low at second 60 period. Depends on cloud cover, honestly. In the east wind, I don't know. That lake is pretty warm. In any case, I think they'll drop into the 30s overnight tonight, so. It's a bit of discrepancy. The GFS is pretty warm tomorrow, 46 degrees for a high. Not sure. I really need to just think things through. Clouds, big impact once again. That'll be the design factor, I think. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. Yeah, the EOSL is a lot cooler, although I'm not sure if this warming continues just due to the lack of winds, and we'll see. Alright, so this will be my last weather challenge video for a while, as taking a break. If you're interested, I'll probably be posting chess videos on and off, just to keep things fresh. Otherwise, have a good holiday. Bye.